Okay, fifth grade. So here's the sheet that I prepared for you to practice some of your linear perspective, 1 point perspective drawing skills. So we have our horizon line, we have our vanishing point. You're going to need a pencil, maybe an eraser if needed, and definitely a ruler. I prefer that you use a ruler to make your lines because they're more accurate than if you freehand it. So if you have a ruler, please do that. You may also do the drawing using the Shobi drawing tools, but you probably won't be able to get the nice, clean, straight lines that a ruler will provide. But you do what you need to do. I'll look at your work either way. So each one of these shapes is what we call a two-dimensional shape. It's flat. There's no evidence that would look or feel three-dimensional. You only see one front facing of each shape, so that the front of each one of these shapes is called a plane. We're going to add the top or the bottom or the side planes to these shapes. And the way we're going to do that is the same thing we were doing when we were making those roads before, when we were making that house, we were making the sidewalk. We're going to use the ruler to touch the shape, go back to the vanishing point, and form those planes that I just mentioned. So let's get started with something simple. Here I have a shape overlapping, meaning it's partially above, heading towards the sky, and partially below, sitting on the ground. So I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to line it up again so it's touching the corner of the shape and the vanishing point. I'm going to take that line right back to the vanishing point. See how nice and straight I got that? Now I'm also going to do the same thing with this corner. I'm going to touch the ruler to the corner and to the vanishing point, and I'm going to take it back. Now you say, okay, Ms. Benter, now I should do this corner, correct? And I say no. If the corner would have to go through the shape to get to the vanishing point, like this corner would have to go through the shape to get to the vanishing point, you don't do that. Now I'm going to use the ruler again to make a straight line, and basically what that does is it cuts my shape so that I have a front plane, and now I have a side plane, just like that. Now these are guidelines, so I could always erase those later, but I'm going to leave them there for now. Let's try the other one on the other side, this time a square. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this corner back to the vanishing point. We're going to take the upper corner back to the vanishing point. And look, do I take this one over? Well, if it has to go through the shape, which it would, it doesn't go. If I take this one over, it has to go through the shape, so I'm not going to take those two corners back. I'm going to drop a straight vertical. I can drop it anywhere. I can make it long, I can make it a short square or cube now, and now I have a front and side to my cube. Now, let's try this rectangle down here. Again, this is a rectangle sitting on the ground. I'm going to take one corner back to the vanishing point, tilt my ruler so it's still touching that vanishing point and the other corner of that rectangle. Now, I have just established this kind of cuboid shape. Now, what about this corner? Well, guess what? It would have to go through the shape. This would have to go through the shape. So I don't take that back. It's just going to be 1, 2 planes, just like here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's try this one over here. I'm going to line up my ruler, making sure it's touching the vanishing point. Hold my ruler firmly. The corner and the ruler are lined up. Let's try this corner. Now on the first few shapes, I've only done 2 corners of the shape going back to the vanishing point. This one and this one, this one and this one, and over here the same thing. But guess what? This corner can go back to the vanishing point without going through the shape. So I am going to do that corner too. So I'm going to line up my ruler so it's touching the corner and the vanishing point, hold it firmly, slide my pencil. So this time we see 1, 2, 3 planes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, but in this one we actually get to see the third plane. Cutting it off to make it more like a cube again. Making sure these 2 lines are parallel. And this is the part where everybody gets it wrong. They want to do a big diagonal there. No, you want to make sure it's parallel with this line. So I slide my ruler up, drop a straight line, and I like to refer to this as sort of an upside down L. That's the trickiest part you'll run into. Let's try doing the triangle. Now, since my triangle is way over here, it may touch another shape. Let's see. Take this corner back. Just barely missed. Take this corner. Make sure we're touching the corner and the vanishing point. And again, this corner will not go through the shape, so I can definitely make that plane go back as well. Making sure I'm touching the corner and the vanishing point. Now here, instead of those straight lines, you'll notice we have a diagonal. So it's going to be a diagonal here. You can do that with your ruler and slide it over, or you can do it by hand. Here is another tricky one. This is a flat line. We need to make the bottom of that rectangle, that triangle, flat as well. So we get this sort of angle, just like you do here. They should mirror each other. Okay, let's try a couple softer shapes. We have a heart shape here. So we don't really have a hard corner here, do we? We have a soft curve. So we're going to take that edge of that curve back to the vanishing point. Then we're going to take the corner of the heart back to the vanishing point. And guess what? You don't have a straight line here. You have a curved line. So we're going to mimic that curve so that that heart also feels correct. We have one more shape to do. We're going to do a circle. Again, we're going to just line it up with the edge of the circle. Take it back to the vanishing point. Go over to this edge of the circle, making sure that goes back to the vanishing point. And here again, like the heart, we go by the shape that we have here. So if we have a curve, we need to make a curve. So it makes this circle into a cylinder. That is what I'd like you to do today. Don't bother with any shading in here. I just did that to show you that one plane when we were making the original drawing. But this is what I'm looking for in your drawing today. Don't add any color, and I look forward to seeing your work soon.